So I'd like to invite our international student advisors to turn their cameras on now. So Param, Kobe, Tracy, Murray, and yep, that's everybody. Great. So we've definitely just heard from the international students and about, some of the challenges that they face. And again, like Varsha said there, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us there. Definitely, we all stand with you there, and, no one should be left behind. So to continue on with our theme about no one left behind there, I'd like to first introduce Param from Monash University to talk about some of the initiatives that Monash University has done to support international students, not just during this challenging time of COVID-19 there, but throughout their time in having lots of international students at Monash University there, and also looking at the future, in what the future holds past the pandemic, to help and support international students. So Param, please take it away.
Thanks, Sarah. So it's a wide area, and I think we need to recognize that not every international student is the same. So at the moment, we've got students who are in Australia, we've got students who are overseas. They're still our students and we want to support them. So during the pandemic, I think really quickly we realized that they need financial aid because they weren't getting it from anywhere. So the university provided tens of millions of dollars in aid to students who are facing financial hardship. But besides that, on the more engaging front, what we've done is we've tried our best to shift everything. So everything that we tried to do in person, we tried to shift it online as soon as possible. So that was a huge learning curve for a lot of staff, trying to, people who are used to setting up things in person on the lawn suddenly had to learn how to do the same thing online. But that was scaled up pretty quickly. Moving forward, I think the ongoing challenge is going to be, at least in the short run, trying to do these things both in person as students start to arrive back on campus, as well as still cater for the needs of our students overseas. So we've had a lot of support from local government initiatives as well as initiatives that they support. So that was good during the pandemic, and I look forward to having such support after and in the reopening as well. So as an example, we worked with a community group through the city of Monash that was providing one free meal a day to students in need, and that sort of gave them a really good sense of belonging. I think a lot of these students were suffering financially, and there's a lot of messages of "we really like you" from universities and institutions, but they weren't really feeling it from the community. So when someone turned up at their front door, and when we understand that you're facing a lot of difficulty, here's a free meal for you. We hope things improve for you soon. We'll come back next week. That was huge. That was huge for them because they could feel a sense of belonging from the rest of the community as well. And so I think these are the areas that we need to keep working on.
Thank you, Param. Thanks so much for sharing all those wonderful initiatives. I'd like to move on to Kobe from Deakin University. Kobe, would you like to take it away for us?
Right, thanks, Sarah. Thank you. And my name is Kobe. I'm the Senior International Student Support Officer at Deakin University, based in Burwood. Yes, like what Param has said, this year has been very interesting and very challenging for everyone, particularly international students. And we acknowledge the hardship and then the hard times that the students are going through. So as Deakin has proudly been voted as #1 best student experience university in Victoria. So we care very much about our students' experience in Victoria, and that's why at the beginning in March /April, at that time when the COVID hits, that the university straight away announced 25 million of financial hardship assistance to our students, and that was well known in the news. And we keep. Until today, we are still offering that financial assistance to students who are in dire needs. So that's one thing that we are we're really proud of, that we care about our students, that we know that what financial assistance is something that is really one of the biggest issues that students are facing throughout during this pandemic. So other than the financial hardship support, we also work with various community organizations, including the DUSA, which is the Deakin University Student Association. Although they are under Deakin, well, they're not actually Deakin, they are a separate entity. So they don't belong to Deakin. So we work with them together to provide financial support as well, like through food vouchers, and then so they also provide emergency food relief to students as well. Other than the DUSA, so we also work with stakeholders like BUPA, giving students $200 vouchers, and also work with St. Vincent de Paul, which provides students with grocery vouchers plus Big W vouchers to assist students in get through winter, so that students could go to Big W and buy some warm clothes, to help them get through winter. And also we work quite closely with Rotary Club Box Hill and St. Thomas Church in providing food relief. Recently, we've just donated 100 kilograms of rice to the St. Thomas so that they could continue to provide this relief to students. Other than that, we also work with Geelong Food Relief. We haven't forgotten our students in Geelong. So we also work with Geelong Food Relief to provide vouchers to students. We also work with restaurants across Melbourne to provide students with free takeaway food, that they can go and pick up those food in the evening so that students won't go, hungry. Other than that, we also have students who have accommodations issues and employment issues and visa issues, So we work really closely with our lawyers, which is the Deakin Student Legal Service. They provide free legal service to our students so that our students can get this professional advice on how to deal with their issues. So those are some of the stakeholders that we have been working quite closely with. Other than that, we also work with, closely with Study Melbourne, with Study Geelong, with, we also get involved in discussion with the City of Whitehorse, the City of Melbourne to discuss about the recovery phase on what we could do, in terms of international student support. So those are some of the things, some of the initiatives that we've done so far, and that we would like to continue providing these best service possible to international students, whenever we can. Yeah.
Thanks, Kobe. Always such a great pleasure hearing about all the initiatives that Deakin University is doing, and always, of course, you're always so humble about the many great things that you're currently coordinating. So now I'd like to move on to Tracy from Holmesglen. Tracy, welcome.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, so I'm Tracy. I'm the Manager of International Student Support at Holmesglen. And immediately, I think when we started to realise just how quickly things were going downhill and the likelihood of the students going into shutdown, to everyone to go into shutdown, we immediately jumped into action and started to call all of our students that we had currently registered for all of our courses, just to determine and understand what their immediate concerns and needs were, so that we could, figure out how we were going to attack this and how we could approach it. What became very clear is their food and accommodation insecurities. That was very, early on. I think that with the job losses that were happening, that, the casualisation of the workforce as well, that was really valid. So what Holmesglen had done is, with our student accommodation, we immediately stopped any further payments that students would need to make within our student accommodation, so that was one thing that they didn't have to worry about. And also around the food security. So the food security, I think, was a big one. We had a very modest food pantry on campus that students could come and take food from. And what we realized after shutdown is we'd have to mobilize that because they wouldn't be able to access that as well. So that was something that we did, and we had a lot of support as well from our community with regards to, oh, I'm sorry, I think my battery, let me just plug myself back in. About that. I thought it started to go very dark on me. So with our community, we also got all of our executive together, all of our other branches within Holmes Glen as well together, and with our support of the executive and the board, immediately jumped into action with financial support. We allowed our students to have flexible payment plans, so they weren't stressed about getting their tuition paid on time as well. So that was massive. That was just little things, as we heard back from students. That was just one less thing that they had to worry about while they were doing this. We had some really great community support from Father Bob Maguire's Foundation charity. They donated a lot of food to our food pantry as well, so that we could deliver those items. We had a lot of community support from the Hyatt and Hampton community houses. The Royal Melbourne Golf Club was really fantastic. They donated 100 meals a day. 100 meals a week that we could then distribute on to the students. And we actually even had some students working for them in preparing that food as well. I'm trying to think when there was another one. Oh, the Hugs from Holmes Glen. Our Diploma of Community students obviously needed to do some placement. And with that placement, they were no longer able to do that once we went into lockdown. So our Hugs for Holmes Glen program allowed our students to be credited with their 140 placement hours, and they went into the Royal Melbourne Hospital and the Royal Children's Hospital, donating support packs and appreciation packages to all of the staff that were working on the front line in those houses. So they managed to complete their diplomas on time, which was really fantastic.
Thank you, Tracy. Lots of great initiatives there. So saving the best for last, I'd like to introduce Marie from Swinburne, definitely to talk about some particular special program that they've run, not just for international students there, but also looking at the very important aspects of working in the gig economy. Thank you, Marie.
Hi. So yes, my name is Marie. I'm the Senior International Student Advisor at Swinburne. So I'm going to be quick. I think I have 2 minutes. So I'm just going to try to say as much as I can in these 2 minutes. So first, I just wanted to acknowledge the level of resilience that you guys have shown. I'm talking about staff, I'm talking about students, I'm talking about everybody. 2020, what a year. So well done for all of you. Another month and we're done with 2020. So what we've done at Swinburne, it's a bit similar to all university, but what I wanted to share with you today, it's about one initiative, one project that we've been working on. So it's started early 2019. We managed to get funding from the Victorian government to assist international students with educational material about road safety. You must have seen the number of people on their motorbike in the city, or actually everywhere, delivering food for Uber Eats, DoorDash, and all those companies. So it's growing, and especially during COVID-19, where for some of international students was the only source of income. So something that we thought before COVID-19 just became even more relevant during the pandemic. So what Swinburne and a consortium of several organizations, including JobWatch, DACO, and Fit to Drive, developed a program, a delivery driver project, to actually help international students to understand road safety, road laws in Victoria, how to be safe, legal rights and responsibility as a worker, because let's not forget, we're a worker and we're part of the community. We're in Victoria and we belong here, so we need to follow the rules here. So this whole project is about making sure that international students are safe on the road, and knowing that it must have been a bit easier during the pandemic because there was less cars on the street. But right now, moving back to a bit of a COVID normal, I'm not even sure if there is a COVID normal anymore, but there'll be more traffic and higher risks. So we are concerned, and we've been concerned by the safety and welfare of our international students. So this is what happened. So we came up with this project, which will be not yet launched, but finalizing right now, will be available to institutions so they can train the students to be safe on the road. So yeah, it is an amazing initiative, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to attend one of these workshops and learn a bit more on how to be safe, because we have your safety and welfare at heart. It might sound a bit cliche, but this is true. I was an international student myself, and I want each of you to be safe here and have an amazing experience. I can't say it will be Wonderland and it's going to be the best time ever. Oh, there'll be no problem. There might be, but just think back. We're here to help. Your community is here to help. You're part of the community, not just your university. You're part of your council. You're part of a state, and you're part of a country. We're welcoming you, and we're really happy that you're here. So reach out. Do not wait. There's no stupid question, no silly question. All questions have an answer. Come to us, and we will always happy to help you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mari. So just before we move on to the next session, we've had a couple of questions. So I think I'd like the panel to answer this particular question, which is how might we amplify the lived experience of students and provide them with relevant training to better support diverse communities? Lots of the conversation so far has been around about unpaid students doing unpaid work. So please, anybody just jump in to answer the question.
I was trying to talk while I was on mute. There's a lot of things that can be done. I think the example given was about unpaid labor, but there's other issues about the lack of information, or in terms of visas, what to do after they graduate. If they can't go back home, which a lot of people are in that position. So I think it's important that all institutions don't scale down on the existing support that they used to provide while they try to do new things. So I know a lot of institutions used to provide information about work rights, visa information sessions, and so on. And this is difficult because I know a lot of institutions are also suffering financially, but I think this is where the students need support. So this is where we need to support them. Marie was talking about the road safety issue. One of the concerns that a lot of the students I spoke to had was about, what do I do? I can't go home. I kind of can't stay here. What are my options? And the information's out there, but it was all in very official language. So they need help breaking it down. And that's the same for a lot of issues. So if we can keep engaging with them in ways that they want to be engaged with, I think sometimes it's easy to put information on a website and it says, go to www. for more information, but that's not what they need. Like one of the student panelists was saying earlier, through our ambassador programs and such, once we find out what students want, and we need to deliver it in the way that they want to receive it. So just to summarize my thoughts, we need to keep doing what we were doing while we're trying to do more. I know that's a big ask, given that, if we've got less resources and so on, but it really needs to be done. And when we can't do it ourselves, we can look for communities, partners to help deliver that. And the other issue is that we need to keep speaking with students. We need to keep, asking them what they need and how they need it delivered.
Thank you, Param. Unfortunately,
sorry.
Yeah, we
just
are
going back and supporting what Param said. Talk to us. You need to talk to us too. We're always open for a conversation. So just come to us, come with your concerns, and we're always happy to help.
Thank you, Murray. So sorry, everybody, but we are running out of time. And just quickly before we head off into the next session, just a reminder that, like, we are having some live polls. So please make sure you respond to some of the questions. We do have some results so far. Brad, if you'd like to show the poll results for us on screen. Great. So as you can see, there are some of the responses we've had so far. We have had some more questions, which unfortunately we have no time to answer, but definitely we will get back to you on them there. Please keep participating.